Hello again. I thought of something while I was still sitting here. It's such a beautiful afternoon. It's been very hot, but the breeze is kind of picking up and it's cooling down. I guess just for me right now, and I'll just share it. One of, I guess, the biggest realizations, and one of them so important, is to be so present. So present and really grounded in each and every moment, and to be really loving and enjoying and embracing earth life. I know that sounds really simplistic, and we've heard it a lot, and in the New Age movement, there's a lot about being all spiritual and getting out of it and blissing off and all of that. And I've had from very young a very rich inner reality, and I was very really detached from myself. I guess there was a lot of trauma also and a lot of neglect in my very early childhood, and so there is all of that commonly known disassociation and all of that as well. And that's part of, as we really love and embrace our human experience, we get to heal that. Whatever age we are, we get to heal all of that early childhood stuff. In fact, it's generally a lot of the processing as we move along. So, and a hugest part, what I didn't learn when I was really young, I came in and I was so loving. I was so loving. I wanted to care for people. I just had this really strong service calling, and just so loving, and somehow maybe some spiritually naive or something, or just naive, and it kind of met such a harshness and abrasive kind of experience in such incredible neglect in right from birth, really. So I didn't learn to love myself, and I think I'm really working on that now, really loving myself now as a woman, as a human, as a person, loving the little girl in me, loving that really young part of me, really growing up those parts. And such a key. It sounds so simple. Love yourself. You know, what is it to love yourself and to there's lots of flies at the moment. So such a key, and I feel that will be part of this exploration and sharing, but that just came to me, to be really present and grounded, and to even come into and fully embody and embrace. We have to love ourselves, love every part of us, and love the whole of us, and allow that higher inner love that perhaps we experience to really flood in. But it can't flood in unless we are bringing love to our human, to our person, and that connection with the planet as well, with this beautiful Earth Mother, with this beautiful Gaia, and to really love this gift from her. So our human embodiment is made of earth stuff, and we, you know, with a more of a spiritual bent and a little bit awake, and we love the planet, and we want to serve, and we love nature, and But something, the biggest, I guess, the biggest problem in my early experience and was not loving myself. All of this love and wanting to love, and just to the negation of myself, just from what I learned from very early in my person and in my little girl. So yeah, loving the self, loving ourselves. It's so simple, and of course it needs to be taught in our families, and it needs to be demonstrated in our families and in the parenting. And the planet is a bit crazy at the moment. And so I think we've got to really stay with and really embrace and share with each other some of those old-fashioned manners, morals and mastery, and really, really share that in a very, very authentic way. So just, loving ourselves, loving the self, and it's a huge part of the journey right now. So I just wanted to share that while I was still sitting here, and we'll certainly look more deeply into what is that exactly, and how does that happen, and to be, it's all part of getting really present and embracing and loving Earth life and loving this planet. And we have heard, we can't love another, we can't love anything or anyone any more than we love the self, because that love comes from within and moves through us. So a lot of the healing is to clear all of that negation and that neglect of ourselves in that beautiful simplicity of, love yourself. And I certainly didn't know how to, or it wasn't demonstrated in my life. It was in my rich inner reality, but in a very grounded earthly, loving the human. This is our embodiment for our energy to express upon the planet. And I think we've really got to be with the basics, and I love the basics and I love the foundations. And so I'm really just sharing more of my experience with that, some of the really big mistakes and the neglect and stuff that just wasn't there, that now I work with a lot and really applying in my own experience. So anyway, thanks for listening, and I'll catch you again soon.